What's going on, everybody? V-Dub here, and good morning. Welcome to Bracketology for Monday, March 8th, 2021, and we are 6 days away from Selection Sunday, and man, are these getting very interesting with some of the conference tournaments, with some of the top seeds going down. We had some automatic bids being handed out over the weekend. 4 teams in total are in the NCAA tournament. Hold on. We have Liberty from the Atlantic Sun, Winthrop from the Big South, gosh darn it. Let me go down. Loyola Chicago from the Missouri Valley, and Morehead State from the Ohio Valley. And then we have 2 automatic bids being handed out from the Southern Conference tonight and the Sun Belt Conference. So we have 2 more automatics. And then before we get into everything for the Bracketology, I want to give a couple things. Of course, my tournament pick'em, I will leave a link in the comments section down below. I don't think I did that the last video, or yesterday's video, so I do apologize for that, but you will get the link over here, so you guys are welcome to join this. You guys can make 2 brackets if you guys want. One makeup from last year and then one for this year. And as well as I'm doing conference tournaments, I'll probably leave the Google Docs in the comment section. You guys can look at it. It'll be updated. And anything for the bubble teams go from the Joe Lunardi section for Bracketology here. As you see, I have different tiers. You see the highlighted one in yellow will be the high seed left in the tournament. The blue one will be team on the bubble. Green will be left out, in the field currently, but could fall in the bubble section. And then the orange are the teams that are likely to get an at-large selection. I think right now I have anybody from a 9 seed or a lower as some teams that are either on the bubble or in the field but could fall to the bubble. So don't fret if you see your team in the green section. They can play their way into the orange tier. So without further ado, let's get to the fun part of this, the Bracketology here. Gonzaga, top overall seed, only undefeated team left in the country. They play tonight against St. Mary's, their old arch rivals from the WCC and the WCC semifinals. First team out, Utah State. Last team in, Xavier. Michigan State did win their final game of the regular season over Michigan. So, as on a couple of the Drakes lost yesterday in the Missouri Valley Conference, but Michigan State in the main field has won the last 4 byes. Drake on the bubble. They are actually one of my bubble teams. The only team on the bubble list right now for the NCAA tournament teams for the automatic bids and stuff. I do have like a selection where I do have automatic bids, teams likely to get an at-large, and then on the bubble, Drake is on that. The only team that's on there right now because they are done with their conference tournament. First 4 out, Utah State, Syracuse, St. Louis, Seton Hall. St. Louis I don't think will make it. Seton Hall and St. John's can play themselves out of the bubble into the field if they win, in which they both will play each other in the quarterfinals this week. So one of those 2 teams will either be knocked out of the field completely, or one of them will keep themselves on the bubble, or even move themselves into the field, depending on how everything else plays out. Memphis, I don't want to say a bad loss, but they weren't too impressive. They should have probably won that game against Houston yesterday. They're still next 4 out. SMU next 4 out. Ole Miss still in next 4 out. First 4, Prairie View against NCAA, Boise State, Xavier, both been on the bubble for a while. Nicholls State officially clinches the top seed in the Southland Conference. Hartford, the highest seed remaining in the America East Conference. They play Saturday for the championship. And then Colorado State and Drake moving down as they are the last 2 teams in. Quickly looking at the bracket now. Georgia State moving up. They play in the Sun Belt Championship game tonight. Wisconsin down to a 7 after they lost to Iowa. Northeastern new to the bracket after James Madison lost to Elon in the Colonial quarterfinals. Northeastern and number 2 seed there, the highest seed remaining, so that's why they have the AQ from there. St. Bonaventure up to a 9. They play in the A10 championship game coming up on Sunday. Western Kentucky up to a 13. Louisville dropping down to a 10. They are one of the last 4 byes. They would be, I believe, in that green tier. I think they'd be in the blue tier, actually, as on the bubble. Liberty clinching the A, Sun. They are a 13. Oregon clinches the top seed in the America in the Pac-12 tournament. They are now up to a 6. Wichita State up to an 11. Clemson down to a 7. So is Maryland. Colgate from the Patriot League down to a 14. And I think that is it as far as any changes of bracketology here, as Cleveland State is still the 15. Now to the fun part of this bracket here. Let's go to Region 1 here. Gonzaga against Prairie View and North Carolina A&T. I'll go with Prairie View on this one. And then in the first 4, Boise State, Xavier. I'm going to go with the Musketeers. And now let's start the main field now. Gonzaga, Prairie View. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Loyola, Chicago, UConn. I'll go with Loyola, Chicago right now. That's a tough one right there. Florida State, Xavier. I'm going to go with FSU. Purdue, Cal, Santa Barbara. Go with Purdue. Tennessee, VCU. I don't see either of these teams being a deep run, but I think Tennessee will get this one. Though VCU could pull off the upset. Texas and Georgia State. Go Texas. Though Georgia State, they could pull off an upset. They definitely can. They were a 14 seed when they did that a couple of years ago. Wisconsin and UCLA. I'm going to have 2 teams that are not playing very well lately, but I'm going to go with Wisconsin because they will safely, I think they're safely into the field. Ohio State, Southern Utah. I'm going to go with Ohio State. And that sets up a Big Ten matchup in the second round. Gonzaga, Loyola, Chicago. Got to go with the Zags in this one. Florida State, Purdue. Go Purdue. Tennessee and Texas. Texas will get that one. They've actually ended up ending the regular season on a strong note, so we'll see how that goes in the Big Ten tournament. Or the Big 12 tournament, I should say. Wisconsin and Ohio State. I'm going to go with Ohio State. And for a spot in the Elite 8, I'm going to go with Purdue pulling off the upset against Gonzaga. Texas and Ohio State will go with the Buckeyes. And then for a spot in the Final 4, why not? I'll pick Purdue. Because we got to get some upsets in this thing. This is for Region 1. For Region 2, we got Baylor and Northeastern. Baylor will have no problem. They looked very good against Texas Tech yesterday. Missouri, St. Bonaventure. Go with Mizzou. Texas Tech and Winthrop. Texas Tech. That is an interesting story. They've been up and down all year. They're still a solid 5 seed. But Winthrop looks like a team that if they get the right draw, they could pull off the upset. And I think this would be a good draw for them. The second highest winning percentage in the country right now to Gonzaga, I believe. I think they're 20-something and 1. Winthrop gets the win. I'm going to pick Winthrop in this one. Virginia and Western Kentucky. I'm going to go UVA. Oklahoma and Georgia Tech. I'm still going to go with Georgia Tech in this one. I think they'd be a popular upset pick if they do make the tournament. Villanova, St. John's. I'm going to go with Nova in this one. San Diego State, Louisville. I'm going to go with San Diego State. Iowa and Grand Canyon. Go with the Hawkeyes. Baylor, Mizzou. I'm going to go with Baylor over their former Big 12 rivals. Winthrop, Virginia. Long way to pick Winthrop to go to the Sweet 16. I think that would probably be the popular 12 seed pick to make it to the second weekend. Georgia Tech, Villanova I have in this one. San Diego State, Iowa. You know what? Let me go with an upset because I know these are going to happen. We don't know if that would happen in real life, but I know these do happen. Well, it's 7-3 and a 12-1. I'll go Baylor over Winthrop, though. They go to the Elite Eight, and then I'll go Villanova. And then for a spot in the Final Four, I'll go with the Baylor Bears because I know I'll get complaints if I don't ever even pick a 1 seed. I'll get complaints if I don't pick upsets, and I'll get complaints if I don't pick a 1 seed to go to the Final Four at least. All right, Region 3 now. Michigan and Siena. Michigan's still the number 3 overall seed. I think they probably could, if they win the Big Ten, surpass both Baylor and Gonzaga for number 1 overall seed. I could see that happening. Virginia Tech, Florida. I'm going to go with Va Tech in this one. Virginia Tech has done pretty good. They had a down year last year, and then they end up improving this year. It looks like they're going to make the tournament in the second year without Buzz Williams as coach. Colorado and Toledo. We'll go with the Buffs on this one. Kansas and Liberty. Whoever's going to draw Liberty is going to have a tough time, but I really think Kansas has played better the last couple of weeks. With the better athletes, I'd love to pick that 4-13 upset, but I'm not going to do it today. Oregon and Wichita State. I'll go Oregon, even though now Wichita State's moving up have moved past the 12 line finally. So maybe they make it to the championship game of the AAC. They might be able to get out of that bubble and possibly still get in as an at-large. Who knows? Arkansas and Morehead State. I'll go with Arkansas. Clemson, Maryland. Go with Clemson over their former ACC rivals. Houston and Bryant. Houston will not have a problem with Bryant, but I'm not sure if I'm sold on them this week. Sold on them to make a deep run, though. Michigan and Virginia Tech. I go the Wolverines in this one. Colorado, Kansas. Go Kansas over their former Big 12 rivals. Oregon and Arkansas. Go with Arkansas on this one. Clemson and Houston. You know what? I might pick Clemson for the upset because Houston is one of those teams that I like, but then they yesterday proved that they are very susceptible to the upset, and they almost lost to Memphis yesterday. They gave up a tying 3, and then they just barely won on a winning 3. And that was actually, you should check out the highlights of that game. That was pretty insane. Michigan and Kansas. Go the Wolverines for the spot in the Elite Eight. And for the second spot in the Elite Eight, go with Arkansas. And then for a spot in the Final Four, go with Michigan. Go to the Final Four. All right, now the Region 4 now. First 4, Nicholls State and Hartford. I'll go with Nicholls State. And for Nicholls State, they're lucky. They're going to stay in the bracketology as well as Hartford until Saturday when they both play. Or at least for Nicholls State until Friday because they play in the semifinals of the Southland. They get that bye. Bryant will have to wait, as I said. Oh, no, wait a minute. Hartford will have to wait until Saturday for the American East Championship. And then the last one, Colorado State and Drake. I'm going to have to go with Colorado State. Illinois and Nicholls State. Of course, Illinois will have no problem there. LSU, North Carolina. I'm going to go North Carolina. Creighton and Colorado State. Creighton's got some problems off court, but really Colorado State and Xavier are two teams I don't see winning that matchup. So I'm going to go with the Creighton Blue Jays in this one. Oklahoma State, UNC Greensboro. Go with Oklahoma State. By the way, UNC Greensboro plays in their conference championship game tonight against, I believe it's Mercer. So we'll see them. Maybe it's by tomorrow's bracketology. They'll have the asterisks for the automatic bid. USC and Michigan State. I want to go with Michigan State in this one, you know. West Virginia, Colgate. I'm going to go with West Virginia to beat Colgate. BYU, Rutgers. As a Jersey native, I love to see Rutgers. I'd love to pick them, but I'm not sold on them yet. Alabama and Cleveland State. I'm going to go with Bama. And then for a spot in the Sweet 16, you know what? I have to have a 1 seed go down the first weekend in one of these bracketologies, so that's going to be Illinois. I think North Carolina will get past them. Creighton and Oklahoma State. I'll go to Oklahoma State. Michigan State and West Virginia. Go West Virginia in this one, even though Michigan State could pull off the upset. BYU and Alabama. I'll go with Alabama on this one. For a spot in the Elite Eight, Oklahoma State and North Carolina. Go with Oklahoma State. West Virginia and Alabama. Go with WVU. And for a spot in the Final Four, which Big 12 team will go? I'll go with West Virginia. So Breezes may have picked against Oklahoma State in the Elite Eight, but I did give Oklahoma State some love this time. And then we will be guaranteed to have a Big 10, Big 12 Final Four in this one. For a spot in the championship game, I'm going to go with Purdue. And then I'll pick Baylor to beat Michigan this time. And for the national championship game, I will pick Baylor to win this bracketology. Tell you guys what you guys think about this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please leave a like. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to join my tournament contest. And you guys are always welcome to join to get to make two brackets, as I said. So until then, I hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there. Peace out, Paisans.